Can you see my fur babies in the background?
Hang on a sec. No.
Can't you?
No. Okay, I think we're almost live. I think we are. Let's just check. Where are we? It says live, so let's just go for it anyway. All right. Welcome, everybody, to our live interview tonight with the beautiful Rhonda. And Rhonda is an integrative nutritional therapist, and she's going to have a chat to us and share a bit of her story about how she came to be this and what she's doing with her business and helping others now. How are you, Rhonda?
I'm fantastic, Sandra. Thank you so much. I've had a fantastic day.
Yay.
Beautiful weather. Getting into spring, my favourite time of the year.
Yeah, I know, it's good, isn't it? It's starting to get a little bit warmer, so it's nice. It's very nice.
It's beautiful.
So tell everybody who's watching tonight a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to say thank you for inviting me to do this. It's
my pleasure.
It's fantastic to be able to network with, like-minded people, and I just love what it is that we're doing, So, so for those that don't know me, my name is Rhonda Muller. I'm here based on the Sunshine Coast, southeast Queensland, with my husband and the two youngest ones. Our two eldest ones are up in Townsville, up there with the grandson as well, too far away. I need to make another quick dash up there before they close the country.
I know.
Yes, the family's doing really well. So I guess, long story cut short, before becoming a nutritional therapist, I was actually a small business coach. So I used to help, partners, husband and wives and stuff, get their businesses up off the ground, getting them started and helping them with their systems, policies, procedures, computer systems, marketing, whatever it was,
Wow, I didn't know that about you. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I absolutely loved it because it enabled me to work from home. It had that flexibility, that time freedom that we all just love.
Yes.
And enabled me to raise our 4 kids and, take off for school carnivals or whatever, whenever I needed to. So I absolutely loved it. And it was really rewarding because, you see these businesses get off the ground and do what they love. So, I was doing that for quite a while. And the 4th child came along. And I say this with love. Anyone with kids, you'll understand. But he turned out to be the problem child.
Yep. There's always one.
There's always. That's why we have lots of children, isn't it? Because we're bound to get one good one. They say.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm obviously, I love all my children. They're all good.
Yeah, of course.
So he was the one that really just threw a spanner in the works because his immune system was really severely compromised. So every little thing that would go around, he would catch. Right. But he was reaching all of his milestones. He was running at 8 months like his 2 big brothers, have a chat like his big sister. So everything was going fine. But then at 20 months, it was like, or someone had just come in and started turning off all the circuit breakers. So he started to lose all of his speech and language, his fine motor skills, his bowels stopped working. He was having breathing problems, skin problems. It was just hell on wheels. And, I was just going from one doctor to practitioner to specialist to the next, etc. And I was just getting the runaround all the time. And, they just kept saying, he's got some behavioural issues, Rhonda. Perhaps you should do a parenting course, and here's some antidepressants because you need to calm down.
Oh,
and I was
love that advice.
Seriously, it's just cost me $400 for you to tell me this. Sorry, all these messages are coming through. Can you hear all my messages?
No, you're right.
It just cost me a truckload of money for you to just pretty much give me a script and tell me to calm down. And, I just felt like I was hitting my head up against a brick wall. You take 1 step forward, 3 steps back. And I was really fortunate that I was surrounded by a good group of girlfriends. Like, I'm a country girl. I grew up in central Queensland. And, call a spade. And they were just telling me, Rhonda, no, you back yourself. You know that there's something not quite right here. Keep pushing. So, I put my cranky face on and I went to a child developmental centre and I just said, I'm not leaving here
Yeah.
until you take me seriously. So, you know, us girls, nothing against the guys, but we do better research than the FBI.
Yes.
When we feel like there's something not quite right, we're like
Yep.
a dog with a bone. We just won't let up. Yeah. And so that was where I was going in. You know,
Yep.
I wasn't being the girl like the glass half full anymore. I was just saying how it is, and I need the support.
Yep.
So 9 months later, just before his 3rd birthday, we walked away with a significant diagnosis. He had a significant delay in regards to neurological, neurodevelopmental condition. And my husband, when we received that diagnosis, he almost fell off the chair.
Yeah.
Like absolutely gutted, where I was jumping for joy
Yep.
because I'm not the loopy one.
Yeah.
I could now get the support that I needed for my baby.
Yep.
Yeah. And so off we went, and we were off to do this speech and occupational therapy and all these other therapies that we needed to incorporate for our baby boy.
Yep.
By that stage, it was just stressing him out totally. And so we ended up having to say, look, okay, well, we had to put all that on hold. I'm a real firm believer of what you put out to the universe will come back.
Yep.
It's all about that mindset. And that's why I absolutely resonate with you, with everything that you're doing. You know, it's that mindset. And it's so
absolutely.
You know, that we surround ourselves with like-minded people that are going to lift us up and encourage us rather than pull us down. So it was just by chance that a mother put a flyer into my son's pigeonhole, and that changed our world.
Wow.
Totally opened up a whole window of opportunities. And that then led me into nutrient therapy, nutritional therapy. So that was at the end of 2008. I threw myself into studying nutrient therapy. So, you know, 100 different dietary theories, over 100 different dietary theories, biochemistry, you know, oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, microbiome, gut health, you name it. So, studied with the Medical Academy of Pediatric Special Needs, Mind Foundation, Biobalance. I was just really amazing. Very, very, everything just fell into place. You know, when things, it just happens. Yeah. Because you put that mindset out there and things, you just put it out where you need to go and things will fall into place. And it'll fall. Yeah. If you've got the determination and drive, it'll all happen. So, long story cut short, we were in Sydney on a 2-year contract, and we moved back to Townsville. That's where we had our home, and we enrolled him into an early education centre that was specifically with, you know, we were doing 6 hours a day, 5 days a week for 2 years straight of intensive early intervention. Wow. Cost us an absolute bomb, but it was worth it. We were the loopy ones using nutrient therapy, nutrigenomics in that infancy stage. Like no one knew the importance of gut health or anything back then. Oh my goodness. We were the loopy ones. Yep. So he walked in significantly impaired, totally non-verbal, sitting in the corner, bashing his head on the ground, okay, non-responsive. We were the loopy ones. After 2 years straight, he walked out prep ready, had all of his speech. Everything was all just falling back into place. We still needed to work on all the therapies, etc. But so fast forward to grade 1, he had 7 girlfriends because he couldn't identify which one, because they were just too pretty. You know?
How cute.
Grade 3, he came to me and he said, Mum, I need to play drums and guitar because girls like rock stars. And I was like, of course, baby, whatever. So music therapy, absolutely fantastic. You know, getting all those pathways going. So we were just throwing everything in. So he had his diagnosis in 2008, and we moved to Mackay for him to start school, etc. And I opened up a big clinic in Mackay. So everything I needed for my son back in 2008, I incorporated into that clinic. So we had a health food store. We were doing cooking workshops, speeches, OTs, special needs coaches and tutors, you know, place for people to come in and crash and vent, whatever they needed. We were providing. Fast forward to 2016, 2 significant things happened that year. My son's official diagnosis was removed. That was never my intention. Right. I just wanted my baby boy back. I just wanted him to be healthy and happy, get invited to birthday parties, get an education, leave school, get a job, find the person of his dreams, and give me lots of grandchildren, because it's all about me.
Of course it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yes, that happened. Then the next thing that happened, I crashed.
Yep.
I had totally
slowed down, and that was it.
I totally burnt the candle at both ends. Yeah. And even though as a nutritional therapist, I knew what I needed to eat, vitamins, minerals, herbs, you name it. Okay. It didn't matter what I did. I was, get my energies levels back up, and I'd start walking or something, and then I'd crash again. To the point I'd get up and do the dishes and I'd have to lay back down.
Yeah,
it was absolutely horrendous, Sandra. I couldn't even get into my own clinic. I'd have to work from the comfort of my own bed.
Wow.
Yeah. So we decided that we would sell off part of the clinic and I would keep the nutritional therapy, and I just started working from home. It was 2016. At the end of 2016, we decided we would move from Mackay to the Sunshine Coast. And we haven't looked back. Absolutely love it. 2.5 years later, halfway through in 2018, that's when I met the amazing Madeline Crow. And she introduced us to the activators.
Yes.
Initially, I just said, I'm not interested.
Yep.
I'll be very upfront. I was just like, no, not interested.
Because it's what most people do. Yeah, most people do have that reaction initially.
Because I was ignorant. I had no idea. It's just a form of distribution. Had no idea. So initially I said no. And then she, finally she was just drip feeding every now and then. And then she said, look, are you aware that these products have peer-reviewed studies? There's actually 26 of them. If I could get you on a call with a pediatrician, would you be open to taking a look? And I was like, hold on, I'm still hanging. Are you saying that there's 26 peer-reviewed studies on PubMed, and there's also pediatricians, health professionals that are using and recommending this product? Yes, I'll take a look. Yeah. The rest is history.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Changed our lives. Yeah. Absolutely changed our lives.
I know you had a massive, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess your testimonial for using the activator helped you a great deal personally, and what you've seen with your clients as well. Can you share with people tonight, for you personally, how it's helped you? And I think it's helped your children as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when I finally started to look at it, and seriously, I didn't come in as a customer. That's, I jumped straight in. Yep. Absolutely. Came on as a distributor because I knew the science. I'd been studying about oxidative stress, mitochondria, microbiome, etc. for many years. Yep. So when I initially found out about this, I got cranky that I hadn't heard about it before. Sure. So anyway, so I started the products in December as a distributor. I had my pack, so I had product for my family and then also for my clients, and we just made, like, all of us were in this trial run. Yep. Now, this is not everyone's going to get the same results as me, but remembering I was a person that was very motivated, very driven, but kept crashing. Yep. After 3 days, my energy was back. I'm in my 50s. My energy was, I felt like I was in my 20s again. You look amazing, by the way. Thank you, darling. That's why you're my favorite.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, seriously, my energy levels have not crashed since.
Yeah, wow.
And it's been 20 months. Okay.
That's amazing.
For my husband, extreme stiffness of joints disappeared after 2 weeks. Now, I was expecting some kind of a bit of a detox for myself. I personally didn't have a detox. Yep. My husband did. He had detox for 2 weeks, but it's not as bad as the man flu, because that's real. All right. Absolutely. You ask my husband, the man flu is real. It's right up there. Yeah. But the thing is that with his detox, it was just waking up with a slight headache. That was all it was for him. Nothing severe. And he just upped his water intake. Yeah. For our son, the one that I had recovered 2.5 years prior to that, we had him on, so just before Christmas, and then a week before school started, He came up to me, like I've got 3 boys, and the only one that was really motivated and driven is the daughter.
Right.
Okay. So they're all extremely intelligent, but she's the one, the academic brilliance, and they're all extremely intelligent, but she's the one that's really academically driven. This little fella came up to me and said, Mum, can you get me the login for school? Because I want to print off my course outline and get everything organized. And my husband and I both looked at each other and went,
wow, where'd that come from?
Who's this kid?
What have you done with my son?
Exactly. So, but also the feedback that I was getting from my clients was just overwhelming. I was getting parents coming to me, and again, nothing against the guys, but it's usually us women that are on the front line, the primary carers. The guys go off to work, especially in regards to pediatric special needs. It would be nothing to have mums coming to me and ready to run. They're at breaking point. Okay. So in regards to special needs, there was a study that recently came out showing that in particular, a certain condition, if you've got a child with that condition, you have about 70 to 80% chance of having some form of PTSD.
Wow.
Okay. It's 80% divorce rate in the disability sector. If my husband and I hadn't known each other and been best friends since we were 11, I probably would have drop kicked him out the door.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah,
okay.
It is. Yeah.
There's nothing anyone could ever say or do that would shock me, because I've been there.
Yeah.
So when mums come to me that they're at breaking point, they're ready to just run away, they need help. So I immediately said to my clients, give these products a go. 2 weeks later, they come back to me a different person. They're so much calmer. Because if I was to say as a nutritional therapist, I want you to start looking at diet, or let's get some testing done. Look at what's actually underlying on a cellular level, biochemistry, etc. Sometimes that's just too hard, Sandra. They can't cope.
Yeah.
You're just giving them another job to do.
Yeah. And
they're feeling overwhelmed.
It takes a lot longer. Whereas if you start something straight away and you can get yourself feeling better, and enough energy and that brain clarity to even attempt to do all the other things, you've got a bit more of a fighting chance,
absolutely
to work out that underlying issue.
Exactly. And the old saying is, you've got to put that oxygen mask on you first,
absolutely,
before you can help or serve others.
So true.
And that's exactly what was happening. 2 weeks, 4 weeks later, they were coming back a different person, different mindset. They cope with making that little step, that extra step that they needed to do, so in order for them to reach their goals. So I just shout it from the rooftops now.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly why I've aligned myself with the company and these
absolutely. So I know, look, I love your story. I think it's an amazing story, and what you see on a daily basis, which is, it's what drives us. I mean, we found something that we need to share with people that don't know, even people in the professional fields that are not aware of this, don't even know about it, let alone even know what oxidative stress is. So
absolutely. And I just wanted to say as well, like, as a health professional, it's my duty. I need to make sure I'm keeping up to speed with training and stuff like that. So I would go to courses or seminars once or sometimes twice a year, and a lot of online stuff. And not once throughout, when I started to study in 2009, full on, not once had I heard about Protandim. Not once. And it was in Australia for 4 years.
It's been around. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So, that is what made me really angry, because we're not here to say we're going to cure or mitigate, reverse, any kind of condition or disease. But I honestly believe that if I'd known about these products, using nutrigenomics, food, vitamins and minerals, that's my gig.
Yeah, that's right.
But it took us years and years and years
to get the result.
Absolutely. And we know we've got a US study that shows that we can reduce oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days.
Yeah.
That's like mind-blowing. And the product that I had been using was sulforaphane. It too is a natural NRF2 activator. Right. Okay, it's broccoli sprouts.
Yep.
Vitamin C and a whole blueberries, all high antioxidant foods, etc.
It's just a much slower process, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But it's just a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yes,
one
exactly.
antioxidant molecule will wipe out one free radical molecule.
Yep.
Whereas we put Protandim into the mix, voompa.
Yep.
Totally
Yep.
different.
1,000,000 to 1, baby.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Protandim 7 times more effective than sulforaphane. And it's still 100% natural. And we've got science. It's a no-brainer.
Amazing. Yeah. So for anyone that's watching that may not have even heard of oxidative stress before, could you just quickly explain what's oxidative stress?
Yeah, sure. So oxidative stress comes from excessive amounts of free radicals. So we all have free radicals from the very first time that we take breath from birth to suckling from the breast. That's creating free radicals. It's a normal process. Okay. The only time that it becomes problematic is when we have excessive amounts, because we have an internal pathway in our body called NRF2, nuclear respiratory factor 2, and we can make our own antioxidants. All right. However, in our mid-20s, that internal antioxidant system starts to shut down. And so we can't actually wipe out the excessive amounts of free radicals anymore. So free radicals leads to oxidative stress, and oxidative stress is like cutting an apple or an avocado and leaving it on the bench and you start to see it go brown. That's cellular rusting. That's what's happening to us every single day, every second. It's only a problem when it becomes excessive. And most people, like the oxidative stress, like in our 20s, for example, oxidative stress starts to climb as we get older. But what I see in clinic is that babies are now born with excessive amounts of oxidative stress. And that is linked to many, many conditions and diseases.
It is. And the science now shows that that's just transferred from the mother in the womb, the oxidative stress. So even, you know, the newborn baby, if the mother has high oxidative stress levels, you're just going to transmit that to your child.
Absolutely. But even babies now are born with hundreds of chemical toxins in their umbilical cord.
Wow.
You know, our environment is way more toxic than what it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can't eat our way out of that situation. You know, we can't put enough blueberries in, or goji berries, or vitamin C, or, you know, like red wine. I love my red wine, but, you know, we couldn't drink our way out of this situation.
And our produce just isn't as good as it once used to be because our soils are so depleted. So
absolutely,
getting what we once had 100 years ago is just impossible.
Yeah, and it's genetically modified. You know, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, glyphosate. You know, oh my goodness, don't get me started on glyphosate. That's Roundup.
You know,
it's
scary. When you start delving, it's actually really quite scary. The things that we don't know or we're not told until you start to do that investigation.
And this is what I love about these products, Sandra, is that like you can take the confusion out of it. You open the bottle and you swallow. You know, it's so easy to stay compliant. And for kids, you know, we always follow the recommendations in regards to Dr. Neil Goodman, chief pediatrician over in America. We go by dosage for weight, etc. It's so easy to be compliant. You can crush it. You know, you can put it into smoothies. You can put it into a bit of yogurt. Make little gelatin gummies. Whatever works. It's just a matter of getting that stuff into the body.
In the body, absolutely.
And you know, if there's any concerns, go back to your doctor and just ask. You know, do you have any concerns with me taking ashwagandha, turmeric, bacopa, green tea, and milk thistle? You know, whatever the ingredients are, just go back and say, do you have any concerns about these?
I have another question for you that I often get, and you probably do too. And with your background, like people will say, oh yeah, but I take milk thistle, or I take turmeric, or and yes, oh, my naturopath has given me blah 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 blah. And yes, I'm sure they are helping. But I know what I always say to people when they say this to me. What would your response be?
So was I.
Love it.
So was I. So I'm really, really blessed to just have a truckload of girlfriends in the health industry. I'm talking integrative doctors, herbalists, naturopaths, you name it. So anything I could not personally get my hands on, I could make a phone call and say, can you help me with this?
Yes.
It would not be an issue. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I was taking all of those ingredients, but it's that synergistic blend. And that it took me a little bit to get my head around it as well, because it's those ingredients. Protandim is 18 times more effective than the sum of all those ingredients.
Yes.
And it took them over 40 years to get the formulation right. 2,500 formulations to perfect. And it's absolutely amazing. Honestly, if you haven't tried it, give it a go. What have you got to lose? That's all I can say. You know, give yourself one bottle per decade that we've been on the planet in order to get everything, all the free radicals and everything down. The science shows. So I'm in my 50s. If I was starting, I need to give myself a minimum of 5 months to 6 months to actually really get everything going. And even you may not, like for me, I used to be like one of those leg warmer girls, you know, high packed aerobics.
Yeah, I used to be one of those too.
And I'd be, you know, netball, basketball, touch football, you name it. I was doing everything. And not because I was good at it. I just loved, you know, being physically active, etc. And I busted my knee, my right knee. It used to pop out to the side. I'd slap it back in and keep going. I just taped up, keep going. It's like, I don't recommend it. You know, so, but the thing is that for years, I couldn't go hiking. Even walking up the stairs, I'd have to hold on to the handrail because my knee, it was gross. It would grind.
Oh, yeah. And you
know,
could
like
hear
you could,
it.
you could hear me coming up the stairs. Anyway, so I think it was around this time last year, and I was in Brisbane, actually. One of my girlfriends, her son plays for Queensland, schoolboys Queensland. And I raced downstairs to get my father-in-law a cuppa, and then sirens blew. So next, I'm like, I can't miss the kickoff. Oh, my goodness. So I grabbed sorry, I'm totally digressing.
That's all right.
I grabbed the coffee, and next minute I find myself running up the flight of stairs. Seriously. I didn't even realize that my knee had not been hurting, and the discomfort and the grinding was gone. So you know what I mean? Like,
it's those little things that you may initially think, oh, okay, I'm going to give this a go, and you take it for something specific. However, along the journey, there's all these little things that get better and better and better. You know, without you even realizing, till you do something one day like that, and you go, oh, that usually would hurt me to do that, and now I don't have that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess, you know, in regards to the product, that synergistic blend, it's the science is there. And that's what I love. And, you know, having it independently reviewed, because any company can do their own studies. But this is all independently paid for and assessed. It's absolutely amazing.
Awesome. I was going to say to you, what would be the last thing that you would leave people with? But you kind of already said that, because you said just give it a go. And actually, I do have one more question. So if you are someone that's listening tonight and, you know, you think, oh, yeah, but I'm young and I'm fit and I'm healthy and I don't really have any issues, I don't need it. What would you say?
I would say rethink that. Rethink that. Now, no, I'm not here to sort of, you know, put the fear factor or anything into anyone, but each generation is becoming weaker and weaker. The people that come to me usually have significant nutrient imbalances, deficiencies, microbiome imbalances, things like that. And often that comes from, they're often born with depletions. They're malnourished. They're born that way. Even though they have a really good diet, we're not absorbing. And a lot of that gut health comes from excessive amounts of free radicals. Once we start to reduce the excessive amounts of free radicals, then a lot of things are going to actually subside. But when we've got that excessive free radicals, oxidative stress, that's going to impact upon our mitochondria. Okay. So we need to think about not just us, but also the next generation, because especially us women, we pass on our body, which is the energy, the battery in every single cell in our body. So we want to make sure that what we're doing now is going to make sure that at the next generations, good to go.
Yeah. And sometimes we feel good in our 20s, but it's not till we get into our early 40s, late 30s that we start to notice things. So I'm all about, trying to be proactive rather than reactive. So definitely worth taking a look. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm sorry, I feel like I've waffled on a lot.
No, not at all. I love your story. I love the way that you explain things. It's really easy to understand. And I'm sure anyone that's watching tonight, either live or on the replay, has definitely got lots of information out of that. So thank you so much. Appreciate you being on and giving up your time for us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you, Rhonda. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.